I got to go to you on this one, man, because the start of the season, you said that Michigan State was the best team in the Big Ten. I firmly believe that there is no best team in the Big Ten right now, that there are about 8 or 9 teams that are all somewhere between good and really good. And I'm not really sure who is in what category yet. But how do you kind of parse through this? And what have you seen out of the Spartans so far this year that would maybe justify the fact that you had them as the number 1 team in the country heading into the season?
Them dudes guard and them dudes board. So not only do they have a terrific defense, but they're finishing possessions. One of the offensive rebounding percentage defensively, I think they're 6th in the country. They just don't give you extra opportunities. So sometimes when they go through some of these lulls offensively and they can't hit shots, and they're shooting the ball not very well from 3. But because they're guarding,
That's putting it kindly.
Yeah, they can't throw it in the ocean with their feet in water. So like it's one of those things where they're keeping themselves in there by just doing Izzo stuff. Playing tough, playing physical, defense, run, and try to find some easier looks. Like their offense, outside of shooting, their offense has been pretty good. They just haven't been able to hit threes. They've still found opportunities for themselves because they're athletic and they're fast. So imagine if Michigan State starts shooting threes well. Could happen.
Mm-hmm.
It could happen. I like the fact that they returned so many pieces. You looked at some of their players. Jaden Akins has been what we thought he could be, not throwing in the ocean. Outside of that, he's been a pretty good player. You look up and down. I love that you can throw in Cohen Carr, go, I guess, quote unquote small, but he's so athletic. He plays like he's 6'10", so it's like, okay. They just kind of are what they are. You know what you're getting into. They're freaking tough, and they could win that league.
Mm-hmm. Finn, I know you wanted to talk about Michigan and Danny Wolf.
Love Danny Wolf.
Oh, man. I think
they're playing the NBA.
This was such a home run hire.
He'll play in the NBA.
Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden, and what they've done, I mean, they combined for 44 in the win over Wisconsin. They controlled the game. And because of the way Dusty designs his offense, the way that they can ball screen and slip to the hoop and the pressure that they can put on you, here's the thing about Michigan. The 2 wins this past week, they shot 10 for 44 from 3, 10 for 45 from 3. Think about that, guys. They scored 85 against Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And they were terrible from three-point land. So what happens when Ronnie Gale and Trey Donaldson are knocking down threes? I talked with Sean Miller last night. He said he thinks Michigan's the best team in the Big Ten. He thinks that they are great. Obviously, he got blown out by them. I've watched 3 of Michigan's games in their entirety. What a game changer of a hire. What a program-changing hire. And I don't think that this is like a case that we've seen when certain mid-major coaches make a beautiful run and then they don't pan out at the high major level. I just think Dusty May is that good of a coach. And Rob, you've seen it up close, spending time with him. The stuff they run, the detail they play with, this is a game-changing thing for Ann Arbor. I think it's better for the Big Ten when Michigan is recognizable. Certainly better for the Big Ten when Michigan State is playing good ball. And both those teams are, quick note on the Big Ten, they own the second most wins in college basketball against Quadrant 1 as a league with 16. The SEC has 19. The Big Ten has 16. The ACC actually comes in at third most with 11. The Big 12's record against Quadrant 1 is 10-24. Big 12 doesn't have a ton of great wins here this year to start the season, even though we respect the hell out of that league. Just saying that the numbers look, got to read the numbers too. Michigan is the real deal. And the Big Ten is deep with talent. UCLA, Oregon, hell of a game last night. What a win for Mick Cronin. Dylan Andrews banks in a 3. And
Bank was open on a Sunday in Oregon.
I look at UCLA, guys. That's a team. They hidden in the portal well. They've won 7 in a row. But Oregon, I didn't drop them much. I still think they're a damn good basketball team. Aaron Bradshaw comes back to Ohio State. They'll end up being okay. And, guys, don't sleep on the Terps. Maryland almost, they were right in it with Purdue. Derek Queen is king.
Derek Queen's awesome.
Derek Queen is king.
He is awesome.
Old school.
He is awesome.
He is old school.
I really like that Maryland team.
Al Jefferson.
Yeah, they play a couple of big guys together, and Julian Reese and Derek Queen. Jacoby Gillespie is a guy that can create some space. I feel sometimes like Willard kind of lets them go a little bit too much. Like he's trying to play with a little bit of freedom. It's like, all right, guys, go make something happen. Sometimes I kind of wish like there would be a little bit more structure to what they do. But yeah, they're really good. Are you worried about Purdue at all? I go back and forth on them because like one, Braden Smith was unbelievable on
Dude,
Sunday.
that little sucker is quicker than a wet fart.
He is really good. Trey Kaufman-Renn, I think, has been really effective this season. But like, you look at what's happened to them against Penn State, it was the exact same thing that happened against Marquette. You put a little ball pressure on them. They got one guy that can kind of create your offense, and if you can kind of shut that valve off, they're kind of limited, and they don't really have any rim protection. I think Trey Kaufman-Renn has one block all season long. I don't know. I go back and forth on that. Where do you stand on Purdue, TL?
I think they are what they are. Their upside's not national championship game like it was last year, but they could win a game or two in the NCAA tournament, maybe even play in the second weekend. I consider that a good year. I don't know that, in today's college game, and I mean this, I think big wings can win you a national championship. Big wings. I think you need a solid point guard, but you also need you really need a big that can just muck it up and be in there. Like you look last year, Donovan Clingan, year before Sonogo and company. You even keep going back and back. Like
David McCormick in 2022.
You got to have those guys. You got to have that guy. That he doesn't have to be the best player, but you have to have that guy. Trey Kaufman-Renn's been very, very good and a pleasant surprise. Is he that guy? To be determined. I'm not overly worried, but at the same time, like secondary ball handler, Fletcher Lawyer can do that.
Oh boy,
I'm not overly worried, but defensively they have to be a little bit better.
Yeah, but Trey Kaufman-Renn's evolution has been fantastic. When Miles Colvin gets going, handling ball pressure is obviously the concerning piece. But I'll tell you what, Penn State looks like a top 30 to 35 team right now. I mean, shout out to Mike Rhodes. That performance by Penn State to beat Purdue the way they did. Look out for Ace Baldwin, who right now is one of the best point guards in the country and has been for a while. And then they really hit it well in the transfer portal with a couple of the guys that they've brought in. I mean, you look at that team, and Yannick Conan-Niederhauser has turned out to be a very nice.
I knew he was going to be good too.
13 per game coming over from Northern Illinois. I really like his game. Zach Kick's averaging over 13 per game for this team. A guy who is in his second year with the program. That's the other thing about Rhodes. He brought in transfers. He brought in Puff Johnson as well. They have a couple of guys who
Freddie DeLeon the fifth, man. Come on.
DeLeon, who comes over from Tennessee. Like a lot of really good pieces for this team. And in the Big Ten, that says a lot about Mike Rhodes and what he's doing in year two on that job. Because when he got hired, people were wondering, is this going to be able to carry over for Micah Shrewsbury? And it is. So, I still trust Illinois. I'm not worried about them after the loss to Northwestern. I think what Chris Collins continues to do is pretty admirable. Like he lost Boo Buie, and Northwestern just keeps fighting, guys. Brooks Barnheiser has an unlimited motor. Nick Martinelli's become a different player. The Big Ten is stacked with storylines and stacked with really good basketball.
Did I tell you guys what Trevor called Northwestern?
What?
The YMCA club of Evanston.
Well, that was insulting because
but that was after Illinois. That was after Illinois went to Illinois. Trevor's an Illinois alum, which I thought was pretty funny.
Can I
state my case?
Yakuchonis, I love. Wow. Yeah. I am impressed by him. And Illinois beats Tennessee this Saturday.
Ooh, spicy.
That's real spicy, and I'm not sure I'm with that one. I'm not sure I'm with that one. I think
games in Champaign.
I think I don't that toughness travels, dude.
AP Top 25 just came out. Duke is ranked ahead of Kentucky. What's that fan discourse going to look like?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Let's. I think, and I've stood by this. The Big Ten's fine.
It's a good league.
It's a good league.
Come on,
it's a good league. Let's not start throwing that league in there with the SEC and the top level talent there. Like, there's a lot of good teams. There's not a whole lot of that past that. It's like,
yeah, look, they have like 12 tournament teams, and not a single one of them I would pick to be like more than the Sweet 16. And that's where I'm at with it. They got a bunch of really, really good teams.
That's where I'm
They're
at.
probably going to have like
Same old thing.
it's going to be like 8 teams that finish within 14-6 and 12-8 at the top of the conference.
Yeah, I've had that opinion pretty much the entire season. Nothing's changed it.
Can I state my case? Can I state my case for who?
Look at the recent comment on the Restream. I'm insulted.
What happened?
I am not a Tennessee fader. I've been the biggest Tennessee fan there is.
Get him, Coop. Get him, Coop. Don't let him get away with anything. Get him, Coop.
Let him know, Coop. Let him know. I'm going to state my case for why Purdue is going to win the Big Ten regular season title again, and I want you guys to respond, and then we're going to get out of here. Want it? This is a long and detailed argument.
What's it?
For why Purdue is going to win the Big Ten.
Well, a guy just commented in all caps and said, friendly reminder, Rob said Michigan would finish 10th in the Big Ten. Great analysis, bro. You're the best.
He just broed you.
Shawn Michael, yeah.
You just got broed by Shawn Michael.
He didn't say you're the best. He said you're the Epst. You're the Epst. You're the Epst, Sean.
And he goes, Michigan's now the betting favorite to win the Big Ten. So why aren't you on Michigan, man? Why are you on Purdue?
Yeah.
Mackey Arena.
Oh.
Fair.
They're going to win 10 games at home.
Wow.
And all they got to do is split their road games, and they go 15-5, and 15-5 will win the Big Ten this year.
Wow.
Yes. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's the same reason why you always pick Kansas to win the Big 12 regular season title. We got
the is-zone. Hey, momentum's getting bigger in the is-zone.
Wait.
I could see Michigan State doing it. I just think Purdue's a better team than
If that happens, everybody who talked crap to me can just go,
Yeah. I honestly, I'm kind of at the point now where I would absolutely love to see Michigan State win the Big Ten just for T.O.'s victory laps.
Oh,
that's what I'm rooting for.
I'm a big, and you guys have known this now. I'm a big victory lap guy. I'll take them.
Yeah, you are.